Bryan Reynolds is in the fold. He sounds eager, he sounds enthusiastic. And now, what's everyone's next step? Good morning to you. Good Thursday morning. I'm Dejan Kovacevic of DK Pittsburgh Sports. This is Daily Shot of Pirates. It comes your way bright and early every weekday. If you're into football and or hockey, I also offer daily shots of Steelers and Penguins where you found this. Yesterday marked the first formal workout for pitchers and catchers, not mentioned center fielders. But Reynolds was there first thing in the morning, and he spoke with reporters. And here's some of what he had to say about his ongoing stalemate between his agency, CAA, and the Pirates regarding a longer-term contract.
Not getting too much into it. I think just a difference in opinion is, I don't know, I guess what we viewed my worth as the player, I guess. And, that's where we ended up.
Reynolds would also say, in pretty stark terms, don't worry about my commitment to the Pirates.
I don't think it'll be a distraction for me. I'm down here a week early and already starting to get my work going. And, just going to focus on the same thing I've always focused on, try to be the best player and try to help us win and do whatever I can.
The key takeaway for me out of all of this was that Reynolds reiterated something he's been saying to me for years, and that is that his optimal scenario is to sign long-term in Pittsburgh. I've been telling you guys that for quite a while now. It gets kind of snickers a lot of the time from a lot of different directions because, they're the Pirates and who would want to play for them and, the evil Bob Nutting and everything else. But I'm here to tell you he's felt this way all along. And even now, when his agency, and I keep going back to the line about the agency because this whole thing just isn't him. Okay? It really isn't. I would tell you if I thought it was. But he's not the type. He's just not the type to say, hey, here's a contract offer, the first offer that was made by the team, the very first meaningful offer of this offseason, and to say, you know what, that's it, I'm out of there. But then he shows up for spring training, says he's 100% committed to the Pirates, and that the best case scenario from this whole mess is that he'd sign a contract in Pittsburgh to stay and also to get what he's worth. That is 100% committed to the Pirates in the moment. In the moment. He also wants them, and understandably so, to step up and do their part. And what has to evolve from this, I think, and I've been saying this on here as well for a while, cooler heads can prevail. Everyone needs to chill over the fact that the CAA guys went blabbing with their leak right around winter meetings time to try to draw up as much of a storm as they could to get interest in their player. That's how they operate. They actually have this specific tactic in their regular arsenal. And again, that means that they hear the first number they don't like and they set the building on fire. Well, cooler heads need to prevail. And what I would suggest is that between CAA and Ben Cherington, they all step back from the situation and say, what's best, A, for Reynolds, and what's best, B, for the Pirates. You heard directly from Reynolds' mouth, not just from me repeating to you stuff from conversations over the years, that he wants to stay, that he wants to really stay, to be in Pittsburgh. And you have heard from Cherington and others within the Pirates, and you've heard me pass it along as well, that they want him to stay. Remember, out of all of this that's happened, they were the ones who approached Reynolds and his representation this offseason, not the other way around. CAA did not come knocking at the Pirates' door. CAA and Reynolds have a signed contract for the 2023 season. And the Pirates hold Reynolds' rights, of course, for 2 additional years through arbitration. The Pirates, in turn, hold the cards, and they still went and attempted to at least start talks, not being aware that the building would burn down after their very first number. So to everyone involved in this, with the exception of Reynolds, I say, get over it. Get over however much ego damage might have been inflicted. Get over however much trust might have been lost in the moment. And continue working with the numbers. Reynolds confirmed yesterday that the numbers that have been reported, and they've never matched in any given outlet where they've been, but he said that they've been, by and large, the one that he's seen and read most commonly, are accurate. And that would tell you that the Pirates are $50 million apart on a total contract with their current best player. That right there is anything but insurmountable when it's spread out over 6 or 7 years. Everyone needs to cool down, grow up, and again, get it done. When we come back, J1Q.
This portion of Daily Shot of Pirates is brought to you by our friends at North Shore Tavern, that's directly across Federal Street from PNC Park. It's home of Steak on a Stone, an eating experience, underscoring the word experience. The steak is brought to you partially cooked on an 800-degree stone, and you do the rest. It's a ton of fun, it's a great meal, and it's a baseball atmosphere like no other in Pittsburgh. North Shore Tavern, right across Federal Street from PNC Park.
Today's J1Q comes from Kevin Matlack, who asks, DK, is it possible that Kutch can have some impact on Reynolds and his trade desire, since Reynolds has never been on a winner here? Kutch has. Can Kutch offer a preview of what the city becomes when the ball club starts to win? Let him know to hang in there and that the money will come. Yes, he can have an impact, Kutch, on not just Reynolds, but on a lot of guys within the organization, because he can tell stories of, what it's like you said, what it was like in 2013, and even more so, and this is something that Kutch brings up, by the way. He brings this up more than the blackout game in just talking. That's 2015, the 98-win season. There was a lot of internal pride about that achievement. And they understood, meaning the players, the manager, the brass at the time, that the format sucked. And it's probably the best change to come in the most recent labor agreement, which is that you get rid of the one and done games. Those Pirates really, really, really could have used some other format, because they were never going to be lined up to go ace versus ace. Not to start getting off on a tangent here, but Kutch talks a lot about 2015 and the fact that the Pirates were, over the course of 162 games, one of the very best teams in baseball. And that they could have rather easily, had they advanced past the first, the one and done, won a World Series. In which case, a whole lot of dialogue about everything related to this franchise would have shifted for a long, long time. And yeah, he can do that. I mean, remember too, the Reynolds has been here since 2019. And while he's been part of nothing but, miserable records, miserable everything, miserable attendance, and all that, he's also been in the environment long enough to have picked up on whatever it is that he already likes. And that's the real answer that I've got for you today. Reynolds doesn't need to be talked into staying in Pittsburgh. You heard that from the man himself yesterday. Again, it's not just me telling you that. You heard that from him, even within the context of what's supposed to be some sort of, terrible back and forth between the two sides. He still said, my wish is to get it done long-term here. That is not someone who's going to stomp his feet and go, I got to get the heck out of this place. As I've been saying all along, that right there isn't him. He can't be in a room with teammates and think of himself as less than 100%, to borrow his own term, committed to them and to what they're doing. He's not equipped with that DNA. So I'd like, if nothing else, of everything that was discussed yesterday, that the one message that would penetrate the most is that he actually does want to be here. Now, from there, those guys need to get busy. All of them. I appreciate the question. I appreciate everyone listening to Daily Shot of Pirates. We'll do another one of these tomorrow.